We're now going to look at using the array command in AutoCAD. This allows us to create a polar array, which in essence is a circular array around a center point, and also a rectangular array with rows and columns. It's in essence a copy on steroids, basically. What you're doing is you're copying, but you're copying using certain parameters so that you can copy multiple objects really, really quickly using the parameters that you put into AutoCAD. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to stick with our 5 modifying objects complete drawing, and you'll obviously be using your 5 modifying objects.dwg that you're saving as you go through each video. Now, we're going to use the selection skills again. I'm going to select this circle here, this circle here, this circle here, and I'm going to erase those circles there like so from the previous video. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these 4 rectangles here, leaving the leftmost one behind, and I'm going to erase those as well. So we're going to do the rectangular array with the single red rectangle there, and we're going to do a polar array using this circle here and the center of this circle as the center of the array. So let's have a look at how that works. Let's do the rectangular array first. So I can select the object here, and the array command is not on the shortcut menu. So I do have to go up to the Modify panel on the Home tab, click on this little flyout here, and select Rectangular Array. Now, as soon as I do that, it gives me a little preview. Now, if I just pan down a bit, you can see that I've got some rectangles going off the top there. I don't want those, but what we've got to do is define in the ribbon, which you'll notice has changed. It's gone into our Array Creation contextual tab. So you can see there that we've got columns, rows, levels, and whether it's associative. I'll explain associative in a moment. So we only need the 1 row. We don't need 2 rows or 3 rows in the case may be. So if I come down, look, there's 3 rows there. I only need the 1 row. So I'm going to go in here to rows, and I'm going to change that value to 1 and press enter. And that then makes sure that we've only got the 4 rectangles. Now I needed 5, didn't I? So I need to change the number of columns to here 5. Now that is 5 including the original, and as you can see that's added that along there like so. So there's my 5th one just popping in on the end there. Once you're happy with that, just close the array on the ribbon, and that's now edited and ready to go. Now you'll see lots of stuff come up here on the command line. That'll fade away. Now if I click on that array, you'll see that they're all grouped together. It is a group. Now if you want to lose that group, you have to explode that group back to its individual rectangles. So you would then go to the Home tab on the ribbon, into the Modify panel, and just click on Explode, and they're now individual rectangles again. This is a default setting in AutoCAD when you array anything now. It groups them and makes them associative. So let's do a polar array now. Let's have a look at a polar array using this little circle here. So I select the circle, like so, again up to the Modify panel, click on the flyout and select a polar array. Now as soon as I do that, it asks for the center point of the array. So using my object snaps and the center snap of that circle there, the leftmost circle, you can see there that it's defaulted to 6 items. There's the items there. Number of rows is 1, levels is 1. Now the reason it's asking for rows there is because you may have an array row going polar when you rotate the items. Now we're not doing that in this case, and you also want to rotate your items as they array. Now I've got circles, so it doesn't matter, but if these were squares or rectangles or diamonds, you would want them to rotate in the angle of the array as they rotate. So that's what this rotate items is all about there. And you can also change the direction, counterclockwise or clockwise array as well. Now they're all there in place. Let's change the number of items to say 7. If I change that to 7 and press enter, you'll see that updates now to 7 circles equally spaced, and you'll see the angle there has also changed with the between value there. I'll just pan up a little bit there so you can see what's going on. Now if I change that to 8, let's have a look and see what happens with 8. Can we fit 8 circles in there? So if I press 8 and update that, you can see there that that just fits. If I start going any higher with that number, the circles are actually going to sit on top of each other because of the radius of the circles. So again, what I'll do, go up to the ribbon now, close the array down, and there we are. There's my array. Starting with that original circle, notice again it's associative, it's been grouped. So if I want to lose that group, again, I go back up here to the Home tab on the ribbon, and I go to the explode command, just explode those. They're now back to their individual circles. So that's how you do a polar array and a rectangular array. Now, what was that last array that we had here, this one here? It's a path array. So if I select path array, that evenly distributes objects along a path. So how does that work? Well, if we watch that little video there, can you see I can select an arc and place objects along an arc as well? So if I just hit escape there a moment, what I'll do is I'll just put a little circle and an arc in. So let's put a circle in first of all. So I'll do a little center radius circle. I'll just place that, say, there, like that. And then I'll place an arc, just a 3-point arc, and I'll go from the center there and just go 1, 2, 3, like that. There's my arc there. So if I now want to do this particular type of array, a path array, I select my circle here, like so, and then I right-click or enter to confirm that. I then select the path curve, which is this arc here, and there they are there. So I've now got 4 going along there at a spacing between of that distance there. So if I change that value to, say, 0.5 and press enter, like so, that will update. And then what I can do is I can change the rows and the distances and the base point and the tangent direction and so on. And if I close the array now, those are all equally spaced along that line at 0.5. And there's the problem that you get, where the circles are too big for that particular spacing, but they've gone along the curve. That's this path array. It's very useful if you've got irregular curves and splines that you want to put objects along. So that's how you use the array command in AutoCAD. Again, make sure you practice for your AutoCAD professional certification exam.